Lawmakers returned to Capitol Hill today after a one-week recess, and they've returned to the political fallout from Donald Trump's conviction on 34 felony counts last week. Now conservatives in the Senate are vowing to bring the higher chamber to a halt in protest of that verdict. Contributing political correspondent and co-author of Politico's Playbook, Rachel Bade, joins me now. Rachel, Republican Senator Mike Lee, he is threatening to muck up the chamber's business in protest of these convictions. How serious of a threat is this to Majority Leader Chuck Schumer?
Hey there, Stephanie. At first, it might just seem like this sort of idle threat, right? I mean, a lot of these conservatives are not exactly the governing caucus. They are often against a lot of things that come on the floor, so that's not really a surprise there. But if you actually look at the calendar, this could be a big problem for Chuck Schumer in terms of nominations specifically. The Senate, its job is obviously to confirm a lot of these people nominated by the president. They process hundreds of nominations every month, and half of the big political nominations are actually done what's called via voice vote. That basically means all 100 senators are okay approving of these nominations, and therefore they move very quickly through the Senate. But with these conservatives saying that they are not going to allow Democrats to do that anymore, that's going to require Chuck Schumer to actually go through all these hoops, spend hours and hours on each judicial nomination, each ambassador nomination, and that is really going to suck up floor time away from other big political messaging bills, things like the contraception legislation that is going to be on the Senate floor this week, where Democrats, again, they want to put up a vote that hurts Republicans on the campaign trail. They're not going to be able to spend a lot of time doing that because they're going to have to, again, spend all the time on these nominations, Stephanie.
And Rachel, let's talk about lawmakers that are on the campaign trail. How has the guilty verdict impacted lawmakers on the trail? We saw just last week House Republicans were raising money for themselves after Trump was found guilty. So are they scrambling right now?
Yeah, it's really fascinating, Stephanie, because both sides are super bullish that this is going to actually hurt the other side or actually help them. We're hearing from Republicans who think that Democrats are going to be taking a hit politically for, the verdict, that they're going to be hurt on the campaign trail. We're seeing today out in Montana, Senate candidate Tim Sheehy, who is running against Democrat incumbent Jon Tester. He is actually up with a new ad attacking Tester, basically saying that he wants to throw Donald Trump in jail. And so Republicans are trying to use this in red-leaning states like Montana, like Ohio, where they're trying to flip these seats so that they can actually take back the majority. But if you go over in the House, Democrats who are in the minority right now and actually want to flip the House, they are more bullish over there. They're blasting out a ton of press releases saying that Republicans in these moderate swingy districts that Biden actually won in 2020, they're sticking with a, quote, convicted felon here. So they're going to try to use that against those Republicans. We'll see who actually comes out ahead at the end of the day, Stephanie.
We shall see. And Rachel, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is back making some headlines, and she's bringing back her demands to defund special counsel Jack Smith. What more can you tell us about this?
Yeah, so this is clearly a pet project, Stephanie, for Marjorie Taylor Greene. She has been like a broken record calling for this for a long time. She basically is pushing Republican leadership to try to defund Jack Smith, to basically keep these investigations and now these cases and trials from going forward, although clearly those are obviously moving forward right now. Not a lot she can do on that. But now she's sort of picking back up on this and putting a new twist on it. She's pushing to defund New York is what she's going to be pushing for, I'm told from my sources. Basically keep any federal funds, things like things for housing, things for education, things for healthcare, from going to the state of New York. Now, this is not going to play well with the Republican leadership, and frankly, a lot of Republicans in these frontline districts that are trying to hold on, these vulnerable Republicans, and a lot of appropriators, people who actually write these spending bills, they're saying already that this is just not something we do. We don't single out and defund states because we don't like what they're doing on the ground. But nonetheless, this is going to really complicate Speaker Mike Johnson trying to push through a lot of spending bills this summer. This is something he wants to do. He has a very slim margin to begin with. And then you have allies like Marjorie Taylor Greene and a lot of MAGA type of members in the House making these demands that, frankly, he can't give them. So it's going to be messy.
Right, some bold demands that may go nowhere. Thank you very much, Rachel Bade, for us. Appreciate your time.